Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am here today with a handbag unboxing. Now, I did unbox it, but as you guys know, I'm terrible at pulling stuff off of packaging or out of packaging. I promise you she came in a beautiful new box, and I've got a stack of boxes. Yes, I've been naughty, but to my defense, I have had a complete shakeup in my collection. I'm really happy where I'm at, so I do promise to have a collection video. So I do promise to have a collection video at some point. I say at some point because I've got some things that I've planned and I'm trying not to deviate from it, and I keep the Brooklyn, for example, has caused me to completely deviate my scheduled. I'm OCD, can you tell? I'm a planner. I don't have my paper planner here, but I think that's the only short I have is unboxing my Vanderspec A5, A6, one of those. I digress. You see her? She's such a beauty. She's such a beauty. So it's, like I said, it's not a true unboxing. I've unboxed her. I've been wearing her. Because I've realized that some, for example, again, I keep leaning in on the Brooklyn, but that's my recent one that I can remember. I did kind of get to unbox that and reveal that over to you guys, and I titled that review, and I need to correct that because I had kind of used it, and I feel like with as many handbags as I have gone through the past 5 years or so now, I have a pretty good grasp at handbags that are going to work for me and materials and things like that. So but this is a true review so it's a reveal and review because I have gotten to use her a few times now and I have my opinions. Nonetheless, let me jump in. But first, if you're new around here, my name is Leslye with What Leslye Loves, and I love to share about handbags currently, but I also share about other random things that I love, hence the name What Leslye Loves. So if you like what you see, I would love for you to subscribe, please. I am trying to grow my channel. It was one of my goals this year, and I'm just proud of myself for sticking with it because I'm enjoying this process. I never thought that I would enjoy all this gear and tech, and I love it. So anyhow, let's jump right in. Here she is in all her glory, the POLENE Mokki bag. Now, why this is, so I stayed away from this actually. Let me go back. Always a story time, always a TED Talk. I stayed away from this when it first came out, and the first color that I loved it as soon as I saw it. May kind of posted it on her Instagram, and I was like, no, because at that point, I was strong and wasn't picking up any POLENE bags. And before you come after me, yes, I had some strong opinions because of that seam. When I get very disappointed with my handbags, I tend to throw a pity party like a 2-year-old and make some bold statements and claims, and then here I am totally going against that. So don't come at me. I'm admitting my flaws. Here we are. So she posted this. Oops, sorry if that hit. She posted this, and I was like, I love the silhouette of that bag. I love the color of that bag. I loved everything about it. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait. Her mom posted, or not her mom posted, May shared her mom's bag, which she bought in the Camel. And I stayed strong. Even then I was like, you know, I don't super love the way it looks. It kind of juds out, which is funny because I have a Speedy, which I don't wear often, but I don't like that it juds out. So that's not something that I super love. But even then I was like, no. And then some other video started surfacing. So I was like, I'm going to wait until there's more data on this bag. And there just never was enough. So long story short, I finally May posted it again on Instagram, and by now I've already released just this past Monday. Well, this is going to go up probably sometime next week, but I just posted about on my Monday musings. I kind of do more TED Talks if that's kind of your style while you're getting ready, drinking coffee, whatever the case, and I'm not annoying because there's some voices that are annoying to me that may not be annoying to you. Anyhow, I digress. I posted about how easily influenced are you? I am very easy influenced. evidenced by this bag. So, however, I more videos started surfacing, and then someone else had posted a video, I don't remember her name, but I'll link her video below. But I decided to take the plunge, and the main reason for it was because a few things had sold on my Poshmark, and I impulsively kind of got this one, and this was before I had the Brooklyn. So can you imagine? That was why I was wrestling so much with not keeping the Brooklyn, because I was like, I was already kind of naughty, but I had to get her. She's so sculptural and beautiful, and just I'm gonna call her, I don't know if there's a tag, but me in a bag that's me, I would call this it. She's kind of pear-shaped, and she's a little chunky, but there's something interesting about her. I'm giving myself all the flattery today. It lacks a back pocket. I'm gonna just say that right there, that bugs me, because the bag that this is most similar to, pause, I'm back. So this bag is kind of sentimental to me. So reason number one, I'm just gonna jump in because I'm annoying myself. Number one, I bought it right when my last baby, I'm a mama of 5, and in my mind, girl math, I said, and I texted this to my 2 handbag friends. I was like, hey, so I totally deserve to buy myself a birthday present on my last baby's birthday, because my last baby is now officially a toddler. So because she's officially a toddler, and I have very proudly raised 5 babies, birthed them out through my body, 4 of them being natural births and 2 of them being home births, I have done it, the work. I have breastfed them. I deserve a bag. So that was me girl mathing it. And I did, and then I ended up selling a bag, which made me feel better, but it came very quickly. I think I've placed other orders with POLENE. This came the fastest any of my other orders have ever come. So I was pretty impressed, but this is their highest price point bag. So I don't know, I guess I'm gonna take the benefits. I'm gonna, in my mind, that's what makes sense to me. So it shipped like that evening and was at my doorstep, I think like 2 days later. So that was reason number one. Reason number two, the name of this bag, the Mokki, is kind of sweet and sentimental to me, because my little guy, my youngest son, has a Build-A-Bear that was a monkey that he picked out on, I think, his like 3rd birthday. And you guys, I'm sorry if I'm a sweaty mess. I'm sorry. Perimenopausal hormones are the pits, but I'm sacrificing for this information, critical. So we took him to get a Build-A-Bear. It's a monkey, and at that time he called it Mokki. And so the Mokki, like, that was reason number two. And then reason number three, this is my little story time. So I had a bag. I was kind of like a 1 or 2 handbag person, and I kind of shared this throughout the videos. And I had a handbag that it was a Coach bag that my aunt gave to me when I went to visit. And she was like, she had a few there, and she's like, hey, I want you to just pick the one that you want. I didn't know what you would like, and I wanted you to pick. It was the sweetest thing. I was up there visiting for Thanksgiving. I had just lost my mom like a couple months prior to, and it was kind of impromptu that I went to visit. So anyway, it was really sweet, and my eyes were instantly drawn to, I'm gonna set her right here so you can keep admiring her while I share. It's this bag. So my eyes instantly went to this Coach hobo style bag, and I'll explain the tea roses in a minute, but she was like, are you sure you don't want a black one, or maybe like a different color? Like, that's just kind of like meh. And I said, nope, I love this bag, and this is the one that I want. And this was the one that I picked, and I wore that bag every day. I think other than at the time I was finishing up school and student teaching, and so at the time I wasn't wearing it like during the weekdays, but I wore her. She was my only like purse. And of course, when you're given a Coach purse, which back in the day, I mean, there are other people wearing Louis Vuittons for sure then, but back in the day, like Coach was the luxury brand, at least at the price point that I'm still at that price point. Let me not talk like, but you get what I mean. This was all the rave. So I got this bag, and so I've had this bag now. She is not quite, wouldn't be quite considered vintage, but she is now 14 years old. And she's been worn in Seattle. She's moved across the country twice with me. She's been everywhere with me. She's my old faithful. And so a very sentimental piece. I think Jessie and the Bags did a wonderful video a couple months back, and maybe I'll link that one below also. But it was just like an exercise of ways to kind of create and curate a collection, and she did allow for some sentimental pieces, and I was like, well, I already have one. I have two. So she has a back pocket, and I was kind of telling my daughter today that this bag really kind of just set the bar for bags moving forward for me. So I was solely a silver hardware girly. So silver hardware, and she has the turn lock closure. She's kind of got this stuffed here, and this strap was one that you could wear crossbody, and then you could kind of loop it together, because you kind of see that. You could kind of feed it to where it was like a shoulder. It would end up being like this, but it's kind, you know what I mean? Like you would take this side off and feed it to the other side. So it's kind of like a shoulder carry bag, which I didn't really ever do. I think I've always been a crossbody person. So sorry if I'm ruffling with my mic at all, but this is the bag. She's super spacious. She has, sorry, here's your ASMR portion of the video. I'm creating such a mess in my room, you guys. I'm gonna hate myself. Dust bag. But she has like a little bit of a center compartment. I love the color purple. She had a purple interior, so no surprise at all to me. I absolutely loved this bag. So, but then years ago, during the beginning of the tea rose era, I ended up putting these tea roses on my bag, and I kind of regret it. So that was the tough part, is I don't like the placement of them. I wish they had been placed a little bit lower, but I know there's a certain like reason why they were placed there based on the flap, and it is what it is. But I would always, literally my phrase was, my Coach bag that I ruined. That's literally how I called her. My Coach bag that I ruined. So anyhow, that was a little bit of a bummer, because obviously I kind of was hoping that this would make me pull her out more, but I did that in 2021. And in 2021, I was very knee deep in adding to my collection, and I was buying Coach, I was buying different, but I kind of started getting some designer pieces. So long story short, my reason number 3 was, look how similar in color these are. So I stopped using this entirely, and I got this, and I was always like, oh gosh, I don't want to keep stuff, because again, you guys know I'm pretty ruthless. I don't like keeping stuff just because, but this was given to me by my aunt, and it was special, and I was never going to get rid of this. But see, like I have a little bit of corner wear on there, but otherwise, like, this bag is in beautiful shape still. So when I got this one, as soon as I opened the box, I had 2 thoughts. I was like, oh, it's not quite, because on the website, it looks a little bit more like wine in tone, almost like an oxblood color, like Coach's oxblood. But when I opened that box, it was very brown. It was a lot more brown, but immediately, like that slight disappointment turned into utter joy because I was like, it's exactly the same color as my Coach bag that I ruined. So I was like, oh my goodness, I have her back, because I did find one like this on Poshmark, but I didn't buy it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna wear that bag. But she really was the perfect bag for me. I mean, really, again, my old faithful. I wore her pretty exclusively for many, many years. So I kind of was referring to it in a way like she has her packed. I have given this bag officially and passed her on to my eldest daughter, who actually does really like the tea roses. So it was kind of bittersweet, but kind of not, because like that aunt kind of really took care of her when she was a baby, and made sure she was dressed to the nines. So it's kind of special that, and my daughter she has a more boho, she likes vintage things. So this kind of worked out perfectly. But oddly enough, like, do you see this has I don't know, I don't think you can see there. It has white stitching. This one has white stitching. So Old Faithful was not retired. She was given and passed on to have a new life. And so my eldest daughter, I'm so happy that that's the story and legacy she's gonna continue to live. As I tossed her, she landed safely on my sofa. But this bag has been wonderful. Now, I will kind of put her on. Sorry, let me just kind of move this. I really like her crossbody. And I love a top handle. That's what the other bag lacked, but now I know I would rather have a top handle than a back pocket. I don't have to have the feet, but these bits here are smooth leather and they feel buttery, buttery soft. Now, initially, what bugged me about this bag in the initial reviews was this flap looks huge. Like, I was like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that I want that bag. I don't like those full, you know what makes this bag architecturally beautiful, and that's what makes Polene's pieces stand out, is the architectural details that these bags have. I say architectural, but you know what I mean, like these feminine touches, these folds. That is quintessentially Polene's style. And so I love those pieces, but I was like, nope, that flap is gonna annoy me. And as you can see, in some videos, you really see people like pulling down, it's just you see what I mean? It's very light. So this flap, if that was something that intimidated you, look, you really get used to it, where it's not a big pull. And maybe it could be that my flap has just a little bit more give, because remember, these bags are handmade. But so this flap has not gotten on my nerves, and you guys know I'm pretty unforgiving. What kind of has gotten on my nerves, and it's kind of like showing off right now, is this strap. I always thought, oh, I need a thicker strap, particularly on my mulberry mini Bayswater. I always hated the smaller strap on it, but this strap, and this also happens in my numero set with Polene, kind of comes up. It tends to like come up to here on me. So I intentionally wore a more fitted dress so you can kind of see the dress a little bit more, but it does kind of, you see, it does kind of jut out, but not annoying, and it is super easy to like get in, grab your stuff, like grab my wallet, get everything, close it up. I'm filming on my camera today, so look, like even my phone, everything that I want to fit, see, I'm fumbling with it more, but everything that I want to fit fits in this bag. So again, the stitching on this bag, just all the details are absolutely beautiful. I still have some of the wrapping on here because in my mind I was gonna like super unbox it for you guys, but I didn't end up doing that. And then the strap does taper, as you can see. So it goes from thicker to thinner here on the bottom, which I really like. And those are how the adjustments are. And I've got it on the bottom two, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So this is probably optimal if you're on the taller side as a shoulder carry bag. I'm only 5'3", and again, it lands here on me. And this top handle here, it's very malleable, so when you're needing to open this, it kind of folds with you very seamlessly, so it's not a bother at all to me. I have found that I very much prefer having a top handle, so that's been super helpful. And again, when you're trying to get into that flap, this bends here. And then I really like the placement of the straps on these D-rings here. It really keeps the bag pretty balanced, other than the strap kind of sliding up on me, and that's just because I've got very muscular shoulders there. This has been super nice to use. And it's nice because the Speedy is a little too big for me, but this is kind of like the perfect size bag. So let me do a quick what's in my bag. Phone, Susie and Ray's sunglass holder. The sunglasses aren't in there. My mints and my medicine. Touchland hand sanitizer. My Dress Up Your Purse mini M case. So that's all in the front flap. That's what I had there. And the back flap, I have my key clay, my little Kirigami, my Rosalie coin purse, receipts. This is just a little perfume sample when I went to that Santa Maria Novella. I never put perfume in my purse, but that smelled so good that I was like, my bag still smells like leather. And that's the other thing, is I would say that some of the other POLENE bags, you really kind of lose, particularly with the textured leather ones, you lose that wonderful smell of leather. And this, sorry, it looked creepy, but yeah, it smells beautiful. So, interior compartment here, center compartment there. There's a little pocket here. That's where I put my pads. And that's the bag, you guys. It says POLENE, made in Spain. I do still have a little bit of the wrapping on here, so I'm not ready to take that off. I was going to, but I'm not ready to take it off because I have seen other bags where it does get scratched. So as soon as I kind of see it lifting, I'm going to take it off because I live in a humid environment, and that's just going to cause that part to like tarnish, and I don't want that. But this has been a wonderful addition, and I think I have a lot of sentimental reasons, so this will probably become a sentimental bag for me, but it replaced one that I was no longer using that I very much loved. It came at a time where, you know, a big seasonal change with my kiddos, and it had a cute little name. It's like the name of my son's favorite little, it's not his favorite, but regardless, it's one that they still play with, and my baby plays with too. So this is Mokki. Let me really quickly share, as I always like to, with you guys, and I'm going to wrap it up there, but this is the Mokki edition in textured ebony. So this is the color ebony. I was kind of doubting getting taupe, but I opted out of that because that color doesn't work in my wardrobe. I kind of like the camel, but I already have a pebbled leather camel in my numerical wheat. So I was like, I loved this color. I'm so glad that I got this color. If you love this color, it does lean a lot more chocolatey than it does wine, but you can kind of see in the light, the little like burgundy undertones. But let me jump in. Description. This is what POLENE describes it as. The Mokki model showcases the art of folding with its textured leather. The corners are cut to reveal smooth leather for a subtle interplay of textures. The bag's interior is roomy and divided into compartments, all protected by a flap that features an engraved clasp. With its adjustable shoulder strap held in place by snap hooks, the model smoothly adapts to your movements. And yeah, I would say it does really adapt to my movements. It juds out a little bit, but that happens. And lastly, let me kind of do the width. We're at about 11.5, so I'm measuring the width. About 11.5 here. That's at the lowest point. Obviously this bag is trapezoidal, so height is about 8 inches. Let me see. About 7 inches. And then width, you're talking about 6 inches at this point, but then it kind of tapers up at about 4 inches at that point. So, and height, about 6.5 inches. So it's not the biggest bag. Again, I told you my specs tend to be 9, 6, 3, and this is like 11, 6, and then 6 up to like 1.5, 2 inches. So there you have it. I think I've bored you enough. I'm so happy with this bag, and if you're on the fence about it, you know, it's not an inexpensive bag. I really feel like this bag kind of, I bet you it turned a lot of heads with LVMH, and they've been recently acquired by LVMH, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens with the brand. So I'm really happy I grabbed this because I'm pretty certain that this bag is going to go up in price, and I already felt like this is a little bit of a splurge, but I could justify it based on selling some pieces that were no longer serving me in my wardrobe, some SLGs and other bags. So I wonder what will happen now that it's been acquired. It should be interesting to see, but at its current price, I think it's worth the splurge if you like the silhouette, if you know that you love a flap style bag. All of those things, you kind of start to know what you like. And so if a top handle, a nice spacious bag, oh my gosh, I forgot to show you guys the feet. Look at how beautiful they are. If you love a spacious bag and you don't want your average little cookie cutter like Pochette Matisse or Coach Cassie or whatever's out there, I just love, everywhere I've gone so far, everybody's super curious about this, and I love having unique pieces like this. So there you have it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Sorry if this was a little bit of a long one, but I guess it was an opportunity for you guys to also get to know a little bit more about me. But anyhow, here's the POLENE Mokki. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.